What's going on, guys? So today Apple held a keynote press conference event, and I thought I'd go over some of the new products, some of the new things that they talked about in this event. So obviously the biggest thing that we were all expecting was a new iPad. A lot of people said it was going to be called the iPad 3 or the iPad HD, but no, it's just called the new iPad. It's just called iPad. I think that's an interesting move by Apple. They've always called a new iPhone, iPod Touch, or actually a new iPhone and a new iPad, basically a number or a version, but I think they're going to drop the numbers, drop the versions on these products and just call it what it is. They've always called the iMac just an iMac, whether it's been updated 6 or 7 or 8 times or whatever. It was never the iMac 8, it was always just iMac. So I think that's what they're going to start doing. They're just going to call it iPad, and I think that's what they'll probably do for the iPhone as well. They'll probably just call it the new iPhone and leave it at that. But on to the new features here. Obviously the biggest thing that we were all expecting was a Retina display. Now this display, the resolution is 2048 by 1536, has 3.1 million pixels, and it does have the same 9.7-inch screen, but they've added 4 times as many pixels onto the screen, which is Retina quality, and basically they've said that this is the best screen that they've ever been made on a handheld mobile device. So it'll be really interesting to see how it compares to the iPad 2 screen. I think it's just going to blow it away, and I'm really excited to see them side by side to just see how much better it is. On the inside of it, it has an A5X chip, and that basically is going to give you quad-core graphics and still dual-core CPU. The graphics, they've said, could be as good or better than console games, Xbox 360 and PS3, so I'm really excited to see how game developers, how app developers are going to utilize not only the new screen, but the upgraded processor as well. I think we're going to see a lot more high-quality games out of a lot of different app developers. So as far as the camera, they did upgrade the rear-facing camera. They have a 5 megapixel iSight camera, which is a little bit better than the previous generation iPad 2 camera. It does offer 1080p HD video, which is a lot better than the previous generation iPad. It's going to be really cool to see how much better this camera is compared to the iPad 2. The front-facing camera, they didn't say anything about it, so I think it's safe to assume that it's the exact same as the iPad 2, which is a little disappointing. The iPad 2 front-facing camera is kind of crappy, so I was kind of hoping they upgraded that, but oh well. As far as the apps that they talked about, they upgraded all of the iLife and iWork, or most of them at least. They upgraded GarageBand, they upgraded iMovie. They also introduced iPhoto to the iPad, and those are all available right now. If you already have them, you can just update them for free, but if you don't have them, I think most of them are around $5, and the new iPhoto application is available in iTunes right now, so if you want to download it to the iPad too, you can do that and play around with it right now. And the last big thing that they added was 4G support, which I think is a great move. I'm glad to see that Apple is utilizing 4G. A lot of the Android tablets, 4G was the selling point, so adding 4G to the iPad was definitely a must. I think it's safe to say we'll see 4G on the next generation iPhone. 4G is going to be available for AT&T and Verizon only at this point. If you don't have 4G in your area, you're going to have 3G capabilities as well, so you're not just stuck choosing 4G or Wi-Fi basically. And that's basically it as far as the big upgrades for the iPad. The only other thing that they added was a dictation, kind of a Siri dictation. They didn't add the full Siri capabilities like a lot of people hoped, but I think that was kind of a given. They really want the iPhone 4S to be iPhone 4 Siri, and they just want to keep the iPad as just the iPad. So the selling point of the iPhone 4S is always going to be Siri for now, and the selling point of the iPad I think is going to be its 4G and its Retina display. As far as pricing, same price as the iPad 2 was on launch date, $499, $599, and $699 for 16, 32, and 64 gigabytes. It's available in black and white, and the Wi-Fi plus 4G model is going to be $629, $729, and $829 for the 16, 32, and 64 gigabytes. It's going to be available on March 16th, I believe, and it's available for pre-order right now. I'll go ahead and just show you guys the pre-order page. You see right here, you have the option to choose the new iPad. You also have the option to choose the iPad 2. The iPad 2 is now $399 for, I believe it is the 16 gigabyte only. Yep. So all you have is the 16 gigabyte only model now for the iPad 2, and the iPad, the new iPad, like I said, is available for pre-order right now. Every option is available. So for those of you who want it delivered on your doorstep on March 16th, next Friday, you can pre-order it right now from apple.com and get it delivered to your doorstep right on launch day. So the only other hardware thing that they did announce was an updated Apple TV, and all they really did was add 1080p HD support for this through not only iTunes but Netflix as well. That's basically the only thing they did. They did also update the user interface, but if you have the previous generation Apple TV, you're going to get the updated user interface. Just update it through your Apple TV and you have a new user interface. It's available for $99 and it's going to be available on March 16th as well. So there you go. Those are the biggest hardware things, the only hardware things that they had in this keynote, the new iPad and an updated Apple TV. I really want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this new iPad, whether you're getting it, whether you're disappointed or excited about it. I know myself, you know, it's just a slight upgrade from my iPad 2, but I'll definitely consider picking it up and selling my iPad 2, and it'll be really interesting to see them side by side to see how much better the camera is and how much better the screen is. So like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, post them down below. I really want to hear what your guys' thoughts are, and I'll see you guys next time.